Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the third part to the M14 episode featuring me, Asian Psycho, aka Toes9per98. And this time we're gonna have some gameplay on Snow Valley, which I don't think I've featured quite enough on my channel thus far, but whatever. Here's more of it, and yeah, hope you guys will enjoy the gameplay, and we'll get started on the M14 SE review. Now, please keep in mind that the M14 SE is my very favorite M14 variant of the M14 family. I remember back in the day when it first came out, I had bought it first for 30 days, and I absolutely fucking loved it. But I didn't quite get around to actually getting it permanent, and then well, now I kind of regret that because now I can't get it permanent anymore. So yeah, let's get right started into the M14 SE because there are some things that I really want to point out that I feel that you guys will find interesting. So let's get started. Now let's go over the differences between the M14, the original M14 variant, and the M14 SE. Obviously, those are the most important things that you should know about because obviously it's an NX standard, or the M14 SE is an NX standard gun, so obviously it's gotta have some sort of improvement over the original, and that would be the fact that it is 5 points more portable and that it retains the same accuracy as the M14 camo. Also, it does feature 1 point less recoil, which scoped in, it actually makes a really big difference, but hip firing, it's not going to make that much of a difference, not quite honestly, but we'll get into them individually. So first of all, the portability is increased by 5 points, which is actually pretty significant because I can, this is just me, but whenever I run around with the M14 SE, I always feel like I'm always faster than the original M14. I don't know if this is the case with the rest of you guys who have actually tried the M14 SE, but that is the case to me, and Nexon did a relatively decent job on correctly listing its portability stat, and yeah, it compares to other better assault rifles in terms of portability. So I mean, G36 has a portability of 57, I believe, so it's faster than G36 at least. Now, the next most important difference, or the improvement rather, is in its accuracy, and it has 1 point more accuracy just like the M14 camo, but because its accuracy is so high anyway, at range while scoped in, it's not going to make that much of a big difference. I mean, 90 is already so accurate anyway. Ooh, nice headshot. But then I would like to point out the fact that for some reason it feels a lot better hip firing than the original M14. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of that 1 point increase in accuracy. Maybe that's why. I'm not too sure. I have no way of verifying that really. But if I had to point out a reason, that'd be it, because it has one more point of accuracy over the M14, and indeed the hipfire on the M14 SE does feel a lot better than the original M14. Don't know why. It's just something that I've always felt was true for me, at least. Now, the final thing final statistical thing that is worth noting is the fact that it has 1 less recoil, and like I had mentioned before, scoped in, well, actually, hipfiring with the M14 SE isn't really that improved because of its 1 point decrease in recoil, but I will have to say that the in-scope recoil, whereas while the M14 already had a really good in-scope recoil anyway, because all it's ever going to do is bounce up and down even if you move around while scoping in and holding down the trigger, the M14 SE is a lot better in my opinion than the original M14. Even with that 1 point less reduction in recoil, it makes a huge difference in my opinion. And the reason why it's so noticeable is the fact that its rate of fire, for some reason, it feels greater on the M14 SE. Nexon doesn't say this because I'm looking at this stats right now comparing the M14 and the M14 SE. They both, according to Nexon, they both have. Oh, actually, no, never mind. I was looking at the wrong stat. Whoops. So the single greatest improvement over the M14, besides its let's see, besides its portability, besides its recoil, besides its accuracy, is the fact that it has 5 more rate of fire, and you can really feel the rate of fire increase over the M14, and it is crazy. When I first got the M14 SC, I don't know if I told you guys this or not when last time I talked about the first time I got the M14 SC, but then I literally was freaking out over the fact that the M14 SC's rate of fire was fucking crazy. I mean, 55 for a battle rifle. I mean, the M14's was a bit slow, but I could understand because it was a battle rifle. But 55, like, holy shit. Like, you can put this M14 SC with the 5-point increase in rate of fire alone has one of the highest DPS times in the game right now. Or in my opinion, I could be wrong, but it just feels like I feel like I can put down people really fast at any distance, especially at long range because this is a battle rifle. Its damage drop off is very good. You can get like 3-shot kills up to like I don't want to say long range, but it just feels like it. Like, at least middle range, you'll still be able to get 3-shot kills easy. And, yeah. That and its rate of fire, coupled with the fact that it has 1 less recoil, that makes a huge difference while scoping in and making sure all your bullets stay on target. So that's why I emphasize the 1-point decrease in damage, or not damage, but 1-point decrease in recoil so much, is because of the fact that it negates the M14's 5-point increase in rate of fire, which normally would make the recoil a lot bigger, but because it has 1 less recoil, you don't really have to worry about that too much. So everything else about the M14 SE is pretty much identical to the M14. I would like to point out the fact that its draw animation, its reload animation, and its sprint animation are all slightly different, but they're not really worth noting. Also, the scope on the M14 SE looks like a sniper scope, but do not be fooled. It is just a normal TA1 ACOG scope, as you can see me use right there. At first, when this first came out, people were like, "Oh my god, the M14 actually has a sniper scope on it," and I was like, "Oh my god, it really does." And then when I bought it, I was like, "Oh, it's just a normal ACOG." But I wasn't disappointed anyway because its performance really made up for the fact that Nexon just screwed us over by giving it a sniper scope, and it turned only to be an ACOG, but whatever. Anyways, once again, the M14 SE is one of my favorite guns of the M14 family. And as for the final rating, I'm gonna give it quickly here because I'm running out of time. I'm gonna have to give this a 75 at close range, about a 60 at middle range, and about another 60 at long range. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. That gives a final rating of 65%. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode, which will feature the M14 Classic. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you later.